The Masterpiece Arena broke up on Monday with the reveal of a possible and very likely KO of FansToys FT29 Quietus. Soon we heard that FT18 Lupus and FT23 Dracula were also getting KO'd, with rumors now saying that only the Lupus KO is true, with so many different opinions and facts thrown around about KO toys, KOs of third-party toys, and FansToys business practices that I thought that we can all talk about and share our opinions after we go through some facts. If you are new to this channel, please hit the like and share buttons and smash the sub and bell icons for more future videos like this. Let's begin. Knockoffs have been in existence since trading begun, with Europeans KOing silk from China back in the old days, and more recently KOs coming out from this part of the world. Consumers buy KOs because of availability and pricing. This practice hurts producers and their bottom lines because consumers won't buy the official products, and some consumers will even wait for the KO. Whether KOs will take a big or small margin, the facts that KOs take away profit and sales from the official original producers remain. There's a chance where an unsuspecting customer may buy a KO thinking that it's authentic. The possible negative experience the customer may have will affect the brand reputation of the producer because the customer now feels that the quality is inferior. There is no doubt that FansToys thrives on the Transformers IP. Their originally designed toys appeal to our sensibilities, Sanbo sensibilities, because if they are not like the G1 characters that we adore, for example, if Quietus doesn't look like Cyclonus, Spindrift doesn't look like Seed Spray, there is a very low chance that FansToys will ever enjoy their current level of success if they design transforming toys that looked nothing like what we knew. For example, Bad Cube was doing okay when they were making toys that kind of looked like Huffer or Sideswipe, but when they started to make original characters that were different from the G1 characters that we know, we haven't really heard from them since, apart from the reissues that keep coming up. Roboson designed some really cool auto-transforming toys, but received very little media attention until they got the official licensing from Hasbro and they were able to slap an Autobot logo on the most prestigious of all Transformer character, Optimus Prime. They were now able to charge twice the amount, and there was still a frenzy of sales for that particular toy. After MP1 was made, Takara wanted to continue with the MP line, but Hasbro didn't. Hasbro had very little interest in taking the lead for the MP line, which was usually the case for many of the Hasbro Transformers toys. In short summary of the long and current standing legal agreement between Hasbro and Takara Tomy is that Hasbro will design the toys and will offer the engineering contract to Takara. Now, if Takara were to reject the offer to engineer the Hasbro designs, Hasbro has the right to hire a third party to engineer the toy. Now, of course, Takara Tomy has never declined the offer. Now, this agreement only applies to transforming toys. Hasbro has full rights to license non-transforming toys to anyone, and they do. Now, after the MP1 project was completed, Takara wanted to continue with the MP line, and they tried to engage Hasbro to continue with the MP line. Hasbro didn't want to continue and gave Takara complete rights to continue with the MP line. Sure, Hasbro did repackage some of the MPs and even asked Takara to do some of them, but the MP line was mainly controlled by Takara Tomy. So will Takara Tomy ever give the Transformers MP license to a third-party company like FansToys? I think they can't and they won't. The recent reveals of FansToys KOs isn't the first time that FansToys had their designs or toys copied. In the past, when a KO rumor surfaced, FansToys were quick to threaten any retailers who might carry the KO. They threatened the retailers that they will stop supplying to them. Even when Cloud9 announced their Quick Blast, I was surprised how FansToys knew that the toy copied the engineering, which was kinda similar to the original G1 Toys engineering, but with a new shell. Anyways, FansToys were successful in forcing some retailers to stop selling Cloud9 stuff. The influence that FansToys have is something to behold. Now that the facts are out of the way, let's dive into the opinions, and feel free, comment, share, like and subscribe. Feel free to make your own video about your opinions and post the links in the comment section, or feel free to add your opinions in the comment section down below. Unfortunately, the act of copying someone else's ideas, intellectual property, or the physical product is part of humanity. We make laws and pass moral judgment on which part of copying is just and which part is immoral. Companies often steal designs, reverse engineer products from each other, and to add it onto their own product lineup. The touchscreen cell phone is one such example. I personally don't like it when someone takes my videos and put it up on Bilibili and monetize it without any effort. But if someone takes and modifies my video format and ideas, I'm cool with it because they still made an effort to produce the content. Honestly, I don't feel strongly against KOs, even though it is an evil part of humanity. KOs on official Hasbro, Takara Tomy, and other unlicensed third-party companies are part and parcel of the toy industry. Some consider it a necessary evil where it may keep aftermarket prices in check for higher-end collectibles, while others rationalize that Hasbro and to a certain extent Takara Tomy can take the financial hit when KOs are made, but third parties cannot. Some people will just buy the cheapest version of their beloved characters. Some will do it out of necessity, and others will take the moral high ground and shunt off all KOs. I personally don't collect any other toy lines, so I cannot make my own opinion on and why folks say that the TF community is weird because we are actually okay with KOs. I am personally not bothered with KOs because from my personal experience, all my KOs are of a lower quality, or they will have lower quality control compared to the original. Now, I thought that my Megatron IT01 was better than the authentic, but look at that. It started yellowing. My MP44 KO was really bad, and my MP52 KOs are usually back in the box except when I compare them with other toys. Now, the only KO that I have that is comparable to the authentic has to be this MP47 KO. Still just a tiny fraction less of a quality than the original, but I am okay with it. Now, I don't think I have any third-party MP-KO toys, but I have pre-ordered the FT29T KO, and I'm excited to see how it compares to this original. I cannot fault FansToys on trying to aggressively protect their designs. Their method of threatening retailers to stop supplying them toys if KOs are sold from their stores is what they will do to protect their bottom line. It sounds like what I hear from other people is the strategy that Bandai does to their distributors and resellers. So it is just their business practice. Should FansToys lower their prices to combat any KOs or potential KOs? In business and marketing talk, people say that consumers tend to want to buy the more premium choice if the price difference is within a psychological acceptable range. For example, people are more likely to buy the PS5 disc version instead of the digital version. Now, if FansToys were to price this original FT29 why it is at just a step or two above the KO prices, I am sure the KO companies wouldn't stand a chance. The reason why some consumers are not stepping up to protect FansToys from being KO'd like before is because of some of FansToys' recent business practices. Now, I won't consider myself an expert on all things FansToys, but in this reflection or recollection exercise, I will most likely miss out on an incident that might have swayed my current opinion. But I gotta do this video, so let's go. I started collecting MPs from around the FT04 Scoria and FT05 Soul releases, and back then I was really impressed with the heft and feel of the toys. The toys were solid, heavy, and although a little bit more expensive than the original Takara MPs, were reasonably priced. Releases were a few in a year, and at first FansToys tried to cater to all types of fans by issuing out G2 versions, toy and Dieclo versions of the Diebots, but FansToys were not consistent with this because I don't think I saw the Diebots got all their toy versions or Dieclo versions out. But as the FansToys reputation kept improving, they were able to make 6 or 8 new molds in a year, but I could never be sure what repaint versions of FansToys toys would we get. For example, we got the M version of Sovereign, we got the T version of Quietus that's not quite a toy version, we got the X version of Phoenix, but for the other characters, we just didn't know what we were getting. Furthermore, the paint type and finishing weren't consistent too. For example, we will get like matte colored toys like this Spindrift, and we will get really super metallic ones like this Quietus. I also started to notice how FansToys love to bully other third-party toys by showing off their renders when other third-party companies have already shown their prototypes or hand-painted test shots. I mean, we all know that FansToys will eventually release all the G1 characters, so why the need to do this? And when other third-party companies show off their prototypes and put up pre-orders, FansToys will announce a reissue. Why? They should have just produced enough in the first run, and now they're spending resources to produce the reissues to counter other third-party companies. Why not just follow their schedule to move on to the next character and hit those bigger sales numbers? Are they just overproducing and storing the excess supply in warehouses? It does not make sense, but it is possible. Then they switched strategies to try to make more new molds and have some reissues and maybe some repaints. Word on the street started to hear more like, we're gonna get limited number of runs for each new mold. And then Barbie put up the concept of latex into FansToys' head, although this concept is not new. But what we actually got was not latex, but a pre-order tax. Folks were all rushing and panicking to get in pre-orders, including myself. Some stores cut supply, so I resorted to pre-ordering from 2 or more places, which kinda hurt the collecting community because I took one spot away from another collector. Smaller sellers and some big vendors held back pre-orders and sold the toys when it was released at higher late tax prices. But then we started to see plenty of excess toys sitting around at latex prices. Sure, toys were sold out at popular online vendors, but some vendors' supplies magically appeared and came in and were sold at higher and higher prices. Some collectors were happy because their extra purchases can now fund their collection, but for myself, I hated this false scarcity business practice. I remembered my hands were shaking and shivering when I tried to put my pre-order in for this FT29T Quietus because the first time around it just vanished in like mere seconds. This adrenaline was too real for something that's not a sport. Thank you to Little Dutch for this topic. KOs will definitely hurt FansToys' bottom line. Does FansToys deserve getting KO'd? We know that making a profit is FansToys' endgame. But what were they trying to do with trying to release more new molds by limiting runs, cock-blocking other third-party toys? That kind of seems counterintuitive for limiting the production quantities to make more new molds by in turn announcing new reissues. So that just kind of blocks off the production timeline because they gotta focus on producing reissues. I don't get it. Why didn't FansToys just enforce their MSRPs and made sure that their bigger sellers don't run out of stock, so they don't create these false scarcities. Why didn't FansToys try to tell the bigger retailers not to hike up prices when they get restocks? Maybe it's real. Why is that some stores have a sudden new influx of pre-orders? How is it that a small toy like this, with the same amount of articulation and engineering as this, be more expensive? FansToys could do a whole lot more things to please their customer base instead of bullying their way around. Bullying third-party companies, bullying retailers by threatening to halt supplies, yet limiting supplies. When FansToys reissued some of their products like the Insecticons, they could have just priced it at the same as before, but nope. Why was it at a higher margin? Transformdom could lower their reissue prices, so why can't FansToys? Look, I get that FansToys are trying to protect market share, but the best way to protect their market share is to continue to do what customers care about, which is 1. To maintain its quality, and 2. Its pricing. FansToys already does a pretty good thing with their quality and the reputation it has for producing quality toys. So now FansToys should just focus on keeping their prices competitive and stop with all the bullying. Personally, I'm fine with the new KOs coming out. Yeah, it will hurt all the sellers claiming latex. It will hurt FansToys a little now because some collectors will say, I will just wait for the KO. It won't bring down prices, I don't think it will, but it will slow down the rapid increase in aftermarket prices. So these are my thoughts. I hope I articulate them well enough. I know a lot of folks have a lot to say about this, but I also hope that FansToys will get this message. Focus on quality, which they already do very well. And now focus on pricing, something that they haven't done really well. Forget about drumming up drama. Forget about bullying others. Focus on yourself and your fans will follow. Control the prices that your big resellers are putting up with restocks. So I hope you enjoyed this video. What do you think about my opinions? Let's hear your opinions. Post a video, put the link in, share your opinions in the comment section down below. Again, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like, share buttons and smash the sub and bell icons for more future videos like this. Again, this is Fan signing off and I'll see you on the flip side.